Hello everyone and welcome to ESO Weekly for November the 6th, 2013 here on the ShoddyCast channel. I am Kyle and with me as always, as people said, why didn't he say dear darling brother, I'm gonna say it this week. Dear darling brother Josh here.
Change is scary.
I don't want to say stuff differently. Anyways, this week we are going to cover the Ask Us Anything article, I should call it like VPX. Variety Pack 10.
That does sound awesome.
VPX.
That sounds like a workout program or something.
Yes, you'll get abs in 10 minutes if you listen to this. It covers things mostly character creation, the whole character creation video. A lot of people had questions about it, apparently. They also talk a little bit about armor, and they mention something called forward camps, which is a different kind of siege equipment that has not been talked about before. After that, we will talk about the Ogrim that has been revisited, thank God. And then also the Creating ESO article having to do with werewolves, and specifically the player character models, like the players when they turn into werewolves, what we'll look like. So that is for this week. So let's go ahead and dive into the Ask Us Anything article. First things first, each race will have a unique subset of hairstyles, adornments, and body markings. And Argonians and Khajiit take this just another step further because they just have completely unique hairstyles and like scale or hair patterns, which kind of makes sense. They kind of have to have that because they are beast races.
Absolutely. Now, I haven't looked closely enough at the character creation in these videos, but I mean, I assume we're not going to see a Khajiit with like a very human-looking hairstyle. They've always had their own unique style with their little braids, and they have some funky ones, the Khajiit, because they're more main styles than hairstyles.
Right.
And then same goes for the Argonians, who don't really even have any hair at all. It's the closest you could get to hair with an Argonian are feathers.
Exactly.
So yeah, they should be very, very different, and that is definitely appreciated.
Indeed. So you'll see that the other non-beast races, the humanoid races, some of the hairstyles will intermingle throughout the races, but then the races also have their own unique hairstyles as well that you won't find on the other races. So that's good. Just another way to kind of, I guess, show your racial identity, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, that's very interesting. That's very interesting. I'm trying to put over in my mind, like, what would the High Elves have that other races wouldn't have? I guess really, really straight, long hair for the elves.
Let's just say the High Elves would go to a very expensive salon, whereas other races might go to get their $10 haircut.
Yeah, well manicured. Like, the other races went to Supercuts, and the High Elves went to the high-priced salon. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep. High-cultured people, right? Absolutely.
All right. So, yeah, okay. So someone was talking about the whole... I guess they were curious why they didn't show like a woman with a big beer belly, but like a man had a beer belly.
I thought you were going somewhere else with that. Okay.
Okay. But anyways, he was like, well, why doesn't a female have a big belly? Why can't they have a big one? Whatever. So, yes, there's the triangle sliders that you've seen where that's for both the body and the face. They have their own separate triangle sliders. But besides all of that, all the options you have there, you also have other sliders further down that will allow you to then even more adjust the size of like those different body parts. So like arms.
It's really anything you could think of. You can make a character with big hands or big feet or a big chest or small chest. It's all right there with those sliders.
Yeah, because you have like chest, waist, hips, posterior, or whatever they call it, your butt. It's like there's a ton of things you can adjust.
I don't want to say too much. But yeah, too much. But too much in the good way.
Yeah, I'd rather have too much than too little. So there are apparently 24 hairstyles per gender, so I guess that would be 48 total, unless there's some other sex I don't know about. Maybe
yeah.
Those crazy Argonians have a third sex that we don't know about, I don't know. But anyways, some, again, are shared between the races, and some are unique.
Argonians, I figure, are like worms, you know, because they regenerate. So to get a new Argonian, you just chop one in half. So really, I'm gonna be doing them a favor when I'm cutting them through on the battlefield as an Aldmeri Dominion guy.
Sure.
That would actually be an awesome ability.
What if
as
it was
a
like
race.
instant too? You just slice, you cleave them right down the middle, head all the way down to groin, and then all of a sudden, like, yeah.
And it makes that sound
they
too.
become two. It's gross.
Okay, enough.
All right. So, yes, they apparently have additional hair, adornments, and tattoos planned for post-launch. This was brought up because of a question asked by a person that was curious if we will be able to change our hairstyles, our tattoos, and stuff later on with our character. Because, you know, you might get bored of how you look, so you want to change it up every once in a while.
Yeah, I think that usually doesn't happen with a lot of people just because you're usually dressed in armor from head to toe.
Mm-hmm.
But if they allow the option, fingers crossed, for us to hide our helmets,
Right.
which I've always loved when they do that in MMOs, then yeah, absolutely, I want to have the option to change my hairstyle or whatever, because that's me in real life. I keep the same hairstyle for years and years and years. I don't want my character in my games to do that, you know? The games are where I get out of my comfort zone.
But they didn't so much confirm that we would be allowed to change. It just made it sound like, yeah, that's what we were thinking, and maybe it'll be in post-launch. It's just, yeah, it definitely wasn't a confirmation that we would be able to change our character's looks.
Somebody wrote it on a sticky note somewhere, and it's
They'll
out there.
get to it when they get to it.
Yeah.
Right? There are no restrictions on cultural style armor. This is nothing new, but I guess they wanted to reiterate this, and someone was confused and they were dumb or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so if you're Nord and you really love the Khajiit style of armor, then you can wear that style armor if you get someone to make it for you, or you can make it. So, or vice versa. So,
which would be funny because the Khajiit style armors, their helmets actually have ear slots on them.
They're like little. They look like boobs on their heads.
Yeah, little compartments for the little catios. It's so adorable.
Dorky, adorable. Yeah, we all have our own definitions for things. Anyways, there are going to be banks in ESO. They are account-wide, so all of your characters can share the same bank, which should make things trading between characters all the easier to do, so you don't have to keep mailing crap from character to character, which was really annoying.
Absolutely. This is just that much more important to getting us in the game and keeping us there and doing the things we would rather be doing. Because in MMOs where they don't feature this account-wide banking thing, you have these things called, these characters you make called bank mules, right? That was what they were called. That's what we called them, bank mules. And the only service they really provided was just storing all your crap. You'd store a bunch of crap on this character and, you know, he acted as your own little personal bank. But this eliminates that, which is good.
Yep. Alright, so the question came up about armor, and specifically leveling armor. They asked, if I wore, say, a lot more light armor clothing, would my light armor skill level faster? And also, if I attacked higher level enemies, would I gain more experience from that?
Okay.
And the answer for both of those questions was yes. So if you wear more heavy armor, you'll gain more experience in the heavy armor skill line.
Which makes quicker. You gain it faster because you're wearing more pieces of that specific armor.
So yeah, it's probably like percentage based on how many pieces you have on, just something like that. And also, yes, of course, if you're going to attack something of a higher level, you'll gain overall more experience because they're a tougher enemy to kill, and that will also translate into all your skill lines, including your armor skill line.
Yep, that's standard. That's pretty standard with most MMOs.
All right. Shields. Someone had asked, well, what about shields? Why do I have to carry a shield if I can block with all the weapons? You know, because even dual wielding you can block in this game. Their answer was, well, shields mitigate more damage, and they also add more overall armor rating because shields themselves have armor rating on them. So yeah, if you're the defensive style character and you're looking to mitigate as much damage as possible, then you'll probably want to go with a shield. I mean, it just makes sense. And also there is the one-handed and shield skill line that also gives you more skills that are very defensive oriented. So if you're looking to mitigate that damage, go with your sword and board.
Yeah.
Wait, what is sword and board? What is that?
That's sword and shield.
Oh, whatever.
Yes.
Sword and board. Okay.
Yeah, anyway, if you're a fan of the whole shield bashing thing in Skyrim, no, it's not that overpowered at all. But definitely go with the shield, and it's going to be a lot more reactional. So you're going to see an opening, there's going to be some sort of indication that there's an opening on your enemy, and then you go in for a shield bash, and I think they're stunned for like 3 seconds or something like that.
That's long.
And then the other benefit of the shield, obviously, is that it gets its own skill line, which is, yeah, the sword and board skill line that has its own unique abilities, like some shield charging and bashing and things like that. So there's definitely a lot of shield specific skills that have been made that you cannot use otherwise.
Indeed. Now, Mages and Fighters Guild. Someone had asked, well, how much like time and energy does it take to join these guilds? Basically, you just show up to a major city that they have a building in, and you just excuse me, you just go and talk to them.
Hey guys, can I be part of your club?
Hey guys, you need me to do anything for you?
And then yeah, they're like, sure, go do this, and you're welcome to our guild.
Yeah. I definitely would have rather seen something a bit more like, I know if people miss it, some people love it, some people hate it, the Oblivion way that you got into the Mages Guild, where you had to get a recommendation. Well, you
From all the towns?
Yeah, that was to get into the Arcane University. I say it's really to get into the guild, because that's when you get all the benefits of being an actual guild member, is when you get the recommendations from each town. I would like to see like more of a requirement than, hey guys, I'm here, I have arms that work, can I work for you? It would be nicer to see for sure, and I would rather have it that way. And then another thing I hope we see is a real progression within these guilds. Say I joined the Fighters Guild, I shouldn't be sent off straight away and my first quest for them is to take on one of Moloch Baal's Dark Anchors or something like that. No, man, I'm a pit dog, I'm a recruit, I'm a grub to them. Lower than dirt. I should have to polish some shoes or something, or kill some rats in a basement like we saw in Oblivion or whatever. Start off small, kind of move your way through the guild so we feel a real progression in the ranks and that sense of climbing the ladder.
Yeah, I agree. Now, the next question was about rezzing in PvP. There's going to be 3 different ways you can actually res in PvP. You can either have a friendly come and res you as long as they have a soul gem, a filled soul gem in their inventory. You can res at the nearest keep that your alliance owns as long as it's not under attack. And then you can warp all the way back to the safe zone, the entry point for your alliance, which would be on the very outer edge of Citadel. So, more than likely, that would be a long-ass run back, because keep in mind how big this place is.
Yeah, keep some friends close by. That's the moral of the story. Just have some friends with a nice stock of soul gems.
Yeah, me. But then they also brought up another way to res in PvP, and that's from using these things called forward camps. So they are a type of siege equipment. They allow a limited number of respawns, and you can place them within enemy territory. So if you are sieging a enemy camp and your people are dying pretty quickly, you can drop down a forward camp near the keep, and you can start respawning from there as well. And I think it also might work as a travel point, but I'm not 100% on that.
This is a planet-side Sunderer, is what it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
The tank thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's very cool, and that's I mean, you can already see it. That's going to be a very, very crucial part of being successful in PvP. I wonder how much these forward camps are going to cost to set up.
They said in the answer they are going to be expensive.
And I'm assuming they can be destroyed as well.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so I would find a nice, cozy place behind some trees to place the forward camp, and then maybe even leave some guys to protect it, because, yeah, that's going to be pretty imperative to victory. I can see it already.
Indeed, and that was it for that article. Really, fingers crossed that they start talking about this adventure zones, because that's really like the last piece of the puzzle for me. And the information I really want to know is the adventure zones.
You and a lot of people.
Yes. So let's get into the Ogrim, because thank God they revisited this.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. So right now I'm showing the before picture of the Ogrim, and it's cartoony goodiness.
Yes, I can hear everyone's sighs of disgust.
Like, oh God, what is this Disney character before me?
Yeah, it does look like it jumped out of a Disney cartoon. Something, maybe kind of a little Jabba the Hutt inspiration in there as well, but yeah, just not great. And if you remember its animations, I don't know if you'll play that as well, but stomach was very, very...
Jiggly?
Yeah, too animated. I wonder if they've changed that. We're not sure. But we do know that they have changed the look to something that looks a lot more sinister, something that you would not want to encounter in a dark dungeon. something that looks like it's crawled out of a plane of oblivion.
He's got some tig-old bitties too. Look at them things.
Yeah. But man, definitely a vast improvement, and the feedback from the fans on, you know, various social media like Facebook and all that has been overwhelmingly positive for the Ogrim. I don't think anyone's gonna miss the old one.
Yeah. Yes, no longer is it now a potential plushy animal that a kid would want to carry along with him. It is now an ugly, disgusting Dremora looking thing, which it should be.
Amen.
So good job, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. This just further reinforces the fact that yes, they do listen. ZeniMax listens to our feedback, and every time you guys go post on their Facebook or Twitter or chat in the forums, comment in the YouTube section, wink wink, they're all reading that stuff, you know. And yeah, it's good to see that they took the time to go back and correct that.
All
Absolutely.
right. Indeed. Now let's look at the werewolves. I'm definitely going to be choosing werewolf. Just because, you know, vampires suck, literally. So let's look at the werewolves. I think they are definitely cool looking. They got some long ass arms.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't our first look at them. They talked about the creation of these things. I have to admit, I haven't had the chance to read the article. I know, shame on me, but did they say anything really enlightening about their choice of design with these werewolves at all?
I mean, it's interesting that they used like real world elements to actually design it, like hyenas, I think they even said, to like get the attack animations down. And they also put a lot of emphasis on the actual metamorphosis. Changing from human to werewolf. They wanted to like balance between it looking good, but it also like working well with combat, because you don't want it to take 4 seconds for you to, you know, transform. You need to be transformed and start attacking crap.
Looking at you, Skyrim.
Yeah. You don't want to die while you're transforming. I mean, that sucks. So yes, there's that. They also said that the actual skill line all works very well. It sounds like it's almost going to be time-based. Like, I'm wondering if there's going to be the ultimate that is actually the metamorphosis that you may... Or maybe it's like a toggleable ability you have to hit to transform into a werewolf, and then maybe a timer starts going on. Because they're talking about some kind of... I can't remember if it was called, like, life force or something. Some kind of... like a rage meter type thing that's slowly ticking down.
Okay.
Abilities fill that back up as you're using it. So the more you use it, the more you're filling that back up, but it's still, you know, draining quicker and quicker.
It's actually too bad its abilities. I was, at least the first thing that came to mind, obviously, was the Skyrim way and how they did it there, which I thought was very cool. You had to consume the corpses of the fallen, and that way you were able to stay in your werewolf form longer, which I thought was a very, very cool way to go about it. And I could easily see them adding an ability, you know, like a cannibalize or whatever ability, where you're eating the corpse of the fallen, and that extends the duration of your werewolf form. I don't know. For me, that would be preferable, but...
It's probably where they got the idea. They took the elements from that, but put them into all the skills, I guess. But yeah, you're not sitting there just chowing down, ripping apart a body and eating it. But that would be cool looking.
Oh my gosh. And this game is gonna be rated teen, right? That's what they're shooting for, and I hate that, because could you have imagined, you know, they wanted to make the way people die actually relevant to how you finish them off, right? So if you finish them off with a fire staff, you had a chance of incinerating them. You finish them off with a cleave to the face, they would fly in the direction of your cleave. Wouldn't that not be amazing if, as a werewolf, you were actually tearing these things limb from limb as you were killing your enemies? Like, that's how they died.
It should at least be like, yeah, in half at the torso with like intestines spewing out.
Yeah, with intestines, but you know you're not gonna get that because of the freaking rating, and that, children, is why we want our game rated M, to let the developers get as crazy as they want to get with these sort of things.
Oh well, you know, probably not gonna happen, but yeah.
Yes, and it's a damn freaking shame.
All right, so let's go into the developer question of last week, I guess it would be. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Brianna Lindsay, and I'm an effects artist with Elder Scrolls Online. And here is your question of the week. every culture in Tamriel has a different idea on what makes a delicious meal. If you were a chef in Tamriel, what dish would you be famous for?
What would you cook?
Oh man, I guess I would have to take some inspiration from the gourmet and maybe make one of his signature dishes. But nah, I don't want to be a copycat. I'd have to come up with something unique. Speaking of copycats, the Khajiits. I would like to make something that is maybe Khajiit inspired, something really sweet, you know, spiked with some moon sugar. That would be good. Then again, my favorite food is like Italian food, so maybe like Breton cuisine would be the closest to something I would want to make. How about this?
Wow,
what I would be known for is spaghetti and meatballs.
Because it's not in Skyrim?
It's not in the test universe.
They'll think you are like a genius.
A genius. The gourmet who? You know? that would be me. I would freaking put him to shame.
Why didn't we think of this before?
Pizza. I'd make the first ever pizza.
Well, there are definitely a ton of different mushrooms. So why not make a nice, and I love mushrooms, you know this.
You do, yes.
So why not make a very elegant mushroom soup?
Mushroom soup?
Or maybe a mushroom risotto?
Yes.
Or maybe a stuffed mushroom?
Yes.
With Giant's toe jam on the side, maybe?
Exquisite. That's a delicacy.
I don't know. Sure, we'll go with that. All right, let's go into the community segment. Starting off with questions that we kind of saved over from last week, so you're welcome, guys. And we'll go through some of these. First one is by Abby.
Hey, ShoddyCast, Abby here, and I have a question about using Conjuration in ESO. So, I love Conjuration. In past test games, it's always been the best and really the only magic I use. In ESO, is choosing the Sorcerer class the only way I'll be able to use Conjuration and to summon familiars or anything along those lines? Because I really don't like using arcane magic or dark magic, and I feel like it'd be a waste if I were to choose a Sorcerer class and then only want to use a few spells in the Daedric Summoning skills line and then avoid all the rest. Plus, I kinda want to roll Templar. I know the Mages Guild will also have a skills line, but is it certain that they will have any summoning spells? Thank you, and keep up the awesome work. Can't wait for the return of the Elder Scrolls lore series.
All right, let's turn it over to our professional here, Kyle.
What do I know?
Can you enlighten us here?
All right. So for summoning like familiar type things, yes, it does seem like at least for now only the sorcerers can be able to do this. But we don't know what is going to be in the Necromancer skill line. We can assume it's going to be raising dead things. So, I mean, if just summoning is what you want to do, be it corpses as well. Is that called? That's not called summoning, though.
Like
what is
necromancy, that'd
sure.
be considered
Sure,
necromancy.
we'll go with that. It's still, you know, a conjuration spell.
Yes.
That's in the conjuration tree. So I would maybe just choose the class you actually want to play. I think you said Templar. And then just wait for the necromancy skill line.
That's an interesting combo, by the way. I can respect that. A Templar with his holy light abilities conjuring like all these nasty undead things.
Yeah, is there going to be like friendly fire then? Because you're throwing all these holy spears and stuff, and you might accidentally hit your zombie guy for double damage.
Yeah, you accidentally impale him with a holy spear.
Damn it!
God, I knew I shouldn't have rolled this.
I knew I should have kept the caster summoned guy, because he always get in the damn way. And I guess they don't have the tome from Dragonborn that keeps you from actually hurting your friendly guys. Anyways, next one is from Matt.
Hi ShoddyCast, my name is Matt, and I have a question about grouping together with people from other alliances. I've heard a little bit about this from your previous casts and wonder if you have more information. Can people from different alliances be in a group and quest together? Or will I need to roll additional characters in other alliances so that I can quest with my friends? While I would be happy to do this, I also hope there is a way to play socially with my friends no matter what alliances we have chosen. I don't feel we should be penalised for wanting to play different races, but I do understand the law and mechanical limitations. Thank you for all your good work, ShoddyCast, and I look forward to each episode.
So grouping with your friends on the opposite faction, or opposing faction?
Very legit concern.
We know for a fact that when you're doing 50 plus content, that means going off into an enemy territory to do quests, you will be able to indeed group with friends of that faction as long as they're in your friends list. Now the question really comes in if, while we're leveling, if we have a friend that needs some help with a dungeon, as long as we're on their friends list, will they allow us to group up with them and then use a way shrine to then warp to the nearest way shrine nearest to that dungeon? That's the question. And I have a feeling that they are going to allow that. But once you leave that party, if you drop that party, you'll probably instantly be warped back to some way shrine. You might be able to choose the way shrine you want to warp to or something like that. So that's what I'm thinking we're going to end up seeing, but I'm not going to say that's confirmed in the least.
Sure.
Next one is from Sean.
Hey ShoddyCast, I know that one of you either has or still plays WoW, so I wanted your take on a few things. We all know that WoW was released in late 04, damn it's old now, and has since had 4 expansion packs released, with the latest being Pandaria in late mid-12. With ESO's head launch in Q1, which starts in October of 2014, do you think WoW will have any steam left at all? And given the nature of us gamers, especially the hardcore ones, how long do you think it will be before ZeniMax would have to think about something like an expansion pack to keep the love flowing? Or do you think they might take a different route altogether? Love the show, keep up the good work. For King and Covenant, see you in the shadows.
Do you really think they'll have to worry about expansion packs for a while? When they're promising big DLC style content patches like every 4 to 6 weeks?
You know, I really don't know. I'd have to get into the mind of the developer, and it's all speculation at this point. You know, will they take that path where, and that's what a lot of developers end up doing, by the time ESO comes around and launches, will they already be working on that next expansion for the Elder Scrolls Online? I hope not. I would rather all their energies be focused on especially an MMO at launch and how vulnerable it is to people burning through content too quickly. Definitely concentrate on those DLC sized just patches and stuff. You know, we're all going to be faithfully paying our subscription fee with that in mind, that we're going to have that content coming. And an expansion pack means I have to whip out my wallet again. I don't want to have to do that for a good long time with a subscription. Yeah, so I would say definitely wait probably over a year for them to even like really even start talking about a deal, an expansion pack. Because yeah, they're promising so much content coming out, and we have no clue how well their current business model is going to hold up. So yeah, I think it would be way too soon for them to really be thinking about expansion packs, though I'm sure the idea has crossed their minds more than once. So yeah, our final thought, I guess, is they're going to be holding off on the expansion packs for quite a while. Next one is from our bud Sterling Jennings.
Hey ShoddyCast, it's Sterling Jennings. I was wondering what you guys thought about achievements in ESO. I know that they're actually confirmed in the game, but I was wondering if you guys think they're just strictly landmarks for the cool things that we've done in the game, like completed a raid or a dungeon, or if you think they're going to be more like what WoW did, where certain achievements or certain hard things that you do can perhaps reward you with maybe like armor for your horses or cool armor skins for your personal character. I was just wondering what you guys thought and what you guys would like to see in ESO when it comes to achievements. Thanks guys, and keep up the great work.
Okay, before we start this one off, I just want to inject my first opinion in there, which is just my opinion on achievements in general. People know I'm not big into achievements, but I will say this: whatever achievements they do put in the game, I want you to have to go out of your way to actually collect these achievements. I always thought it was so cheap when they rewarded you achievements for playing the game, doing what everybody else is doing. You know, I liked how WoW, what was that one achievement where you had to explore every corner of that game and discover every location?
Cartographer?
Was it like
World
a cartographer?
or something. I had that one,
There was a
actually.
lore master achievement as well in World of Warcraft, wasn't there?
Might have been.
I think that I want to say it was the lore master achievement for that one, and you got like a tabard or something.
Tabard?
Or a
yeah,
tabard.
For the lore master? I don't remember. I know there was the cartographer one, like legendary cartographer or something.
Yeah, but I mean, could you imagine those style achievements in the Elder Scrolls Online more than, oh, I hit level 10, here's your achievement, which WoW also does that as well. But yeah,
It's probably going to be, you know, a combination of both. I mean, there's going to be the easy ones that everyone's going to have, but then there's going to be the ones that people really have to strive to get. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because the only people that actually care about the achievements are the achievement whores that want to get all of the achievements.
quote unquote.
So they're going to be doing both the easy ones, get those out of the way, and then the very hard ones that take a lot of time to do. So yeah, whatever.
Okay, let me get my, because we all know ZeniMax is listening, right? So let me get my recommendations out of the way. All lore books collected in the game. That's the only way you get the lore master title, right? There's an achievement.
No, it's not even called Lord Master. It's called Lawrence Schick.
It's called, yeah, you get the surname of Schick if you
And then your
complete that
character gets his voice.
one. Yeah, he gets his voice. Yes, absolutely. Grows the beard, has a monocle or something like that. That's
Maybe
awesome.
just the first person to get Lore Master gets that. That'd be hilarious.
Another achievement, exploring every inch of Tamriel that is explorable at ESO at launch. So you unlock and discover every corner of the continent. You get the achievement of a title. So it's, for instance, Radon the Pilot. Just like Topal the Pilot was the Altmer Explorer, who was like the Ponce de Leon or whatever or the Christopher Columbus of Tamriel. That would be a neat achievement as well. What was the original question? I totally forgot it now.
Achievements. Okay, so should they? Do we think ESO will have like a point system put into it to where you can turn in, or once you like reach a certain amount of quote unquote achievement points, you can start getting items for it? So like you said, maybe horse armors or something.
Yeah, I would rather it be related to the achievement for me personally. So, I mean, the Explorer achievement, you would get something that an Explorer would have, cosmetic-wise.
I could see kind of both, maybe. The more harder ones to do, like the Cartographer one, or the Exploring one, or the Lore Master one, maybe give you something extra special. But then also give you points that go towards some kind of system, as long as that system only gives you cosmetic items. I don't want people to start getting badass armors because they did some achievements.
No, yeah, no.
So, but do you think ESO will actually do a point? I don't think they'll do a point
I don't
system.
think a point system, no. But I do think there'll be rewards, cosmetic rewards.
For the harder ones.
For the harder achievements. The ones you have to go out of your way to actually achieve.
All right.
The achievements that actually earn the word achievements. I've done something.
I tripped over a rock. Here's your achievement. 5 points.
Yeah.
Congratulations. And the next one is from Undead Taco.
Hey ShoddyCast. I was wondering if crafting skills will be affected by what class you play. For example, will enchanting or alchemy be better for sorcerers than it is for dragon knights because of a class buff? Also, I like Kyle more than you, Josh. Just kidding, you're both awesome, but because you're going with the Aldmeri Dominion, I'm gonna have to wipe you off the map.
Wow, what a burn, dude. Okay, you know what? I'm not even gonna. Kyle, you take it away since you're apparently
Since
his
apparently
favorite.
I'm better.
Yeah. I'll just sit silently for a while here. Maybe cry to myself.
Oh boy. So crafting tied into classes. Definitely not. But if they were to do something like that, it would be more tied into the race, I would assume. Because think of like the orcs and how they are known for their armor crafting and just weaponsmithing all around, metalworking and stuff. So you would think they would have some kind of natural affinity for that, so they should get some kind of boost for that. As for the other races, I don't really know. There's not enough like crafting things to fill in all the different races out there, so I just don't see them doing something like that. And it might be considered an unfair kind of a boost in the long run. So honestly, I don't think we'll see anything like that coming from the races or from the classes that will boost your crafting. And Josh has nothing to say because, he's useless apparently.
Yes.
All
yes,
right.
I am.
All right, so that is it for the questions from the Shodians. So let us go into the sponsors of the week. First off here is Richard Beckett. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Then we have a new donor here. Is it George? I'm just going to go with George. Rivera.
Yes.
Thank you. And then John Matthews.
Jitty Dragonborn.
Jitty?
That was like a funky Dragonborn there.
What was that?
That was a 70s Dragonborn.
That was like a 90s crappy rap Dragonborn or something. Anyways, next donor here from Jasmina Cantalis. Yeah, thank you. And then we have a special donation here because, you know, it happened to push them above a certain threshold. Jeremy Ladwick.
Jeremy, the Greybeards have called you to High Hrothgar. You are no longer a mere mortal. No, you, sir, are Dragonborn!
Congratulations.
New donor here, Rory Moore, says Dremyolok.
Dremyolok.
My name is Agdukri. Come on. And I am the voice of the lost ways, the ancient ones, and the true gods of mortals. I speak for the Dragon Cult.
Oh, yeah.
We are a small RP guild based in the Heavenheart Pact who also plan on doing PvE and PvP and welcome members of all classes and races in the EP, not just DKs. Join us and fight for a better Tamriel. Pafa Alduin Grogdold Yul? How does the J sound in I think it's a Y.
Yes, sure.
Yul! You can reach us at thecultoftheoldways.freeforms.org.
Yeah, I only took 1 year of Dragon in high school. Sorry.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about it.
That wasn't good for me. But yeah, that's very cool to see the Dragon Cult like RP Guild in there. I always thought they didn't get enough love, and people don't talk about them nearly enough. Personally, I think they're cooler than the Forsworn ever could hope to be. But hey, that's my opinion.
Faux show. Donation here from Robert Fisher. He says ESO Weekly needs more of that cosplay queen. I don't know if you saw the actual person I used for the Queen Aaron.
Use some hot cosplay chick.
And he says, my apologies in advance to we're not saying for the queen that many times. You can say it 3 times.
Okay. For the queen! For the queen! For the queen!
And that's it. Okay.
Even gave you different variations there. So, yeah.
Oh,
just
wow.
wrap that into some remix song or
Sure.
something.
New donation here from Matthew Lawrence, and boy, do I have a lot to read. He says, I have the droves of metadata collected by Google to thank for our acquaintance. I was suggested to the 21 Reasons to Play ESO video one day, apparently in August. And after sending it to all my friends as a means of hooking them onto ESO, I have been playing catch-up since. The lore series was an acid trip into TES for me. I started with Morrowind and have played Oblivion and Skyrim, but with a single view I realized that I have been only scratching the surface of the realm that is TES, and to now say I've played those games sounds similar to playing one level of Mario and saying I'm a fan of it. For this enlightenment, I have you two to thank. I raise a pint to the both of you and commend what you have done for TES and ESO in my eyes and many others.
Yeah, that journey was very similar to me when it came down to the lore. You know, you think you're the bee's knees about lore just because you picked up a couple books in the TES games, but I don't know. I think there's maybe a handful of people in the world that could actually claim the title of lore master, and I know as sure as hell I'm not one of them. There's way too much out there. Even if you've memorized all the books in the games, if you haven't cracked open the Imperial Library, you're not even close to becoming like lore master worthy. So, oh man, looking forward to season 2. There's just so much more left to explore.
Yeah. Next our final donation here is from B-Rye Black. That's what I call him now, B-Rye. He says, keep up the righteous work, duders, and for my fellow bossmer. And for my fellow bossmer, may your quiver be full and your aim steady.
For the queen!
Ah, man, she's going to be plastered all over there today.
Yeah. People really wanted to see her again.
And that is it for the sponsors of the week. If you would like to become a sponsor for the ShoddyCast, head over to ShoddyCast.com. And on the right-hand side of the screen, you will see a donate button. If you donate $10 or more, you can leave a promotion for us to butcher through as we did today.
Yes, any and all septums are donated right back into the ShoddyCast for equipment purposes and all that, not into our pockets. Any amount is greatly appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, may the tears once again ensue. You've reached the end of this episode of ESO Weekly on the ShoddyCast channel. Thank you so much for listening or / watching. Please like this video and share it with who? Everyone you know. Don't forget to tune in on Friday. That's right, it's every other Friday now, no longer Saturdays. Drill that into your brain for the next, the premiere, I guess you could say, of the second season of the Elder Scrolls Lore series. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Elder Scrolls Lore 2.0. We're bringing it to the next level. If you want to see what I'm talking about, well, you'll just have to tune in on Friday. We'll be talking about, oh, I guess I don't want to disclose that right now. I'll give you a hint. It's a man. It's a man you know. It's a man you know and you love with all your heart.
Unless you're a high elf.
It's a man that has defeated all other men for you. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. I really don't want to say, but it's gonna be great. All right, well, I've been your co-host. I've been Josh.
And I've been Kyle.
We'll catch you later.
Bye.